sucks. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing. Testing. It takes me so long to get streaming that all my energy's pretty much gone. Why am I trying to? Well, now I feel like I'm just. I mean, I'm literally talking to myself online, but I know this will upload. But I'm not sure if the internet is fast enough to this for it to actually matter. Like, I don't know if this is like going anywhere. Like, I see myself with a little bit of latency. Mind you, this is the first time. I think I streamed one other time to YouTube a very, very long time ago, just kind of for fun, playing some video games on a totally different channel before I even started really making videos and stuff. And at one time I streamed on Twitch like a little bit, and then I realized where I live, even if I had a bunch of money to buy their like top tier, and I don't have their top tier, but even their top tier where I live is not very fast. So it's a very low quality stream. I think I'm going to record at the same time. I'm using this new streaming software, Meld. I was using OBS, but and I can figure it out. I can make pretty good recordings with it. I actually used Meld for recording and was like, whatever, I'm a poser. I'm going to go back to OBS for a little while. And then today, when I was trying to figure out how to stream, I was like, well, this is just taking too long. I just, I don't want to use the YouTube native app because, I don't know, I'm fancy. And I wanted to try out, so I went to Meld because it's giving me more or less what I want. I'm going to record it just to see what the latency is like, because the idea, like, the main reason I'm doing this is like, because I know but nobody's gonna watch it, right? But I've been trying to be more authentic or come out with more raw type videos, mainly been doing that on my other channel. But when I watch it back, I can't help myself but to edit the heck out of it, which is sort of like wearing a mask. And I love editing, I love filmmaking, I love writing scripts and doing deep research. I almost like the research part and the writing part and the editing part more than the actually talking to camera part. But I don't post enough. It takes me a long time. I get distracted with other subjects, and then I start working on like 10 different videos and I get confused and then nothing gets done and whatever. So I want to have an outlet that's like really raw, that is more just me talking, and I could just film that with my camera and upload it like some channels do. But I find myself, if I have to cut it up at all, and I'm not gonna I'm too, like, I don't know, I can't watch myself back and then upload something directly out of a memory card with no edits. And when I start to edit, I just can't help myself but to cut out every single time I look dumb. And I look dumb a lot. And I'm not embarrassed about myself looking dumb. I'm just when I watch myself back, then I'm like really conscious about myself looking dumb. So I thought, why not try to live stream? Plus, I haven't tried it in a long time and it's kind of fun. Whatever. Excuses out of the way. Um, and I also thought, from a content strategy wise, with some of the new features and I don't know, dude, like just being able to live stream and cut up shorts and have this. And it's also like a separate page. I don't know how it affects the algorithm and stuff like that. That's one thing I'm a little worried about is, I have a hard enough time with the algorithm and I want my edited hard, I call them my try hard videos to pop off. It looks like it looks like I'm getting some sort of warning. Yeah, not very good. In the stream current. Oh yeah, the bandwidth. Oh, because it's 4K or something. Stream current bitrate. Recommended bitrate. Dude, I don't care if it's 4K. As long as people can understand me, I don't really care. Let's see if I can change the settings. So what was I talking about? I'm going to watch this back. It's going to be all glitchy and shit. But yeah, I wanted a more raw outlet to talk about these things and have, maybe there'll be some interactions or whatever. So this is kind of a test to see how that goes. I don't think I'm going to be able to live stream very frequently from where I live because the internet is just so spotty that it doesn't make sense. And there's other people that live here that are also trying to use the internet right now. I got the house, so it's fine, but yeah, most of the time it's not. But sometimes I do stay places that have much better internet, so maybe I can start live streaming. And yeah, and I like that to be, that's what I was going to say. I like it to be separate from my normal videos because my normal videos are try-hard videos or whatever. I think my last couple weren't as try-hard, but I'm working on some very sophisticated videos of try-hard videos about Peter Thiel and Palantir and, all these tech billionaires that are trying to rule the world that I'm sure are sucking up this very stream and learning even more about me and you and everybody in the world or whatever. I love technology. I really do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being rich. I don't think there's anything wrong with building a business or having good ideas and pushing those ideas into the world and working your butt off and all of that and getting money and making it. But I also think that workers should be paid fairly and there should be a cutoff. The government, in my opinion, first of all, there is no perfect anything because we are imperfect people. We are incapable of a perfect government. But I think a government should not be the big bad government. I think the government should work for people. I think it's made up of people, and the people of that society should choose democracy, republic, like the USA, the way it should be ran is by the people, for the people, of the people, or whatever. That said, I think people should be able to get rich. I think the government should help everybody. And because, the accumulation of wealth, it's not like, people say eat the rich or whatever. I think that they should have incentive to build more things and hire more people, and it shouldn't be all about stock price go up. Stock buybacks should be illegal again, in my opinion. Much smarter people have broken it down. I have to research and read my script or whatever to coherently say it to a camera. So yeah, that's sort of what I believe. I don't know. Maybe one thing I like about YouTube is there's a possibility that somebody watches this in the future. I don't even know if I necessarily want anybody to watch this particular. I'm just kind of using you as my therapist and trying to figure out the aim of the channel. Because the truth is, I started this channel not too long ago because my other channel, one, was all over the place. I constantly did different videos, and some of them popped off. I got a few hundred subscribers or whatever, but this one's more pinpointed, and I want to watch the rich, but I don't want to just throw all rich people under the bus. I just want like I made this video. Now I'm sort of changing the subject, but it's the same subject. Bear with me if anybody's watching. I made a video about Eckhart Tolle like a year or two ago. I guess more like 2.5 years ago. And the whole basis of it was like, I like what Eckhart Tolle talked about. Like, I read his book, The Power of Now, and it really helped me. It was exactly the message I needed to hear at the time. And I'm not going to say it changed my life, but I changed my life. And that book was one of the books that I read that helped me change my life. And I love the book, and I love most of the things that are said in that book. And he quotes a lot of religious figures and spiritual leaders and all this. But people, regardless of what you tell them, there's a certain type, a certain architect that are spiritual or religious or even business-orientated people that find somebody and they think of them holier than thou. And they think that they have all the answers and they create this guru mentality. You see this with Wim Hof. You see this with Elon Musk and all sorts, like, and Eckhart Tolle. And I did a video about Eckhart Tolle and kind of pointed that out. And what I didn't like about Eckhart Tolle is that he would do these conferences and people would be like, oh, Eckhart Tolle, you are my guru. And even though Eckhart Tolle himself will say, I am not a guru in that way, you should not follow me, I'm only a person, and I really like that. When people act that way to him, he does not correct them, and he kind of allows it, and I think as time has gone on, he's gotten worse and worse about it, and I got so much backlash, oh my god. But I had conversations with a few of the people that commented on my videos, just going back and forth in the comments, and some of them understood where I was coming from, and I got it because there's been a lot of hit pieces where they kind of took what I was saying and really went off. And Eckhart Tolle, my whole point is Eckhart Tolle is a person, and I think he's gone a little far. And I compared him to Deepak Chopra. And like Deepak Chopra's whatever. I have family members that really like the dude, and he has a very similar message and things, and people follow him like a guru. But he will correct people if somebody's on stage and they ask, they're like, oh, Deepak, you're my hero. You're my guru, you're my savior, and he will be like, no, he will correct him right there every time. I mean, there's videos of it, I don't know about every time, I don't follow him like that, but it sure seems like he is on it. He's like, no, I am not your guru, I am just a person with some ideas, I've written like 1 billion books, and yeah, he's a sellout, but so is Eckhart, and good for him. I don't think there's anything wrong with them making money. I don't think neither one of them are billionaires. I don't think Deepak is. He's definitely more wealthy than Eckhart, but regardless, my point is there are people. We're all people. Elon Musk, richest man on earth. I guess at some point they are gonna make him a trillionaire, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I think hopefully my audio is like okay, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but he's a person. He's a person with tremendous amount of money, which gives him tremendous amount of wealth. Oh, man. That was a lot of energy to tell you guys all that. I mean, by you guys, I mean nobody. Let's see. I think I got to turn this. I had this on. Woo. Testing. I had this on my 32-bit float recorder. And its amplifier is whatever. I'm not an audio engineer, but I had to turn it way down to make it sound right. And now I'm using this little Rode shotgun mic, and I can't find my plosive filter, so hopefully it doesn't sound horrible. But I won't know until this stream is over. What else did I want to talk about? I just wanted to kind of like get in the mode of streaming and being raw on camera and having it kind of be over here as something that I can maybe do. I started using a new app called... It's not a new app, actually. It's like 4 years old or so. And I guess they're building a new version, but LogSec, some people call it LogSec, some people call it LogSeek. And it's pretty cool. You can do all these references. I'm a big Notion user or whatever. What else did I want to talk about? I just think, the reason I'll just keep talking about why I started this channel, being my first stream and whatever. Stream current bitrate is bad, is lower than recommended. Well, why doesn't it just make it 1080 then? Why does it have to be 4K? It looks okay. It says getting a bunch of warnings. I don't care if it's low. Anyways, I made this because the biggest deal of our time. I mean, the people with the power control the world, and we have all sorts of problems in the world, and there's always problems in the world. We're of course living in days. Some people think it's the end days, and maybe it is. It's not the end of the world though. Maybe society will have to start over. I don't know, dude. Like our lives are so short, and humans are so flawed that it is absolutely a miracle that we even exist, much less be able to function and have cars and computers and all this technology. It's so cool. And maybe we're living a simulation or whatever. But the biggest deal in any modern, the people that are going to be remembered, the ones that control or build society are the ones with the power, and the people with the power are the ones with the money. And, going back to the other part is like, there should be a cutoff, right? If a society is just like I see the world like two ways, and I'll make everybody mad saying this is like it's like the government should help everybody and be there to help everybody live the best lives possible, and this is in La La Land, right? Or if they're just going to do the basics and maintain the road or whatever, so basically decentralized socialism, right? Something like that, maybe. Or like fuck off, right? Like straight up libertarianism. And those sound unrelated, but in either case, I feel like, it's like either we should help each other as a society, or let's just go all independent and just, live like, in either case, I think local laws are very important, not because of whatever, not because of, racism reasons, but because decentralized governments are less likely to fall apart, and it gives the people of those locations more power. But that's regardless. I'm not really into it for politics. My goal on this channel is to see powerful people, rich people, people with billions, people with multi millions. I don't even know what is rich anymore, right? It's a very broad term. Like I think I'd consider myself rich if I had enough money to never work again and still own a house or whatever. I don't own a house. Most people in my generation don't own a house. And the people that even do are like they don't really own it either. The banks do. So, I created this channel to prove, and to watch what the powerful human beings do in this world. And some of it's good. There are good rich people. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're bad. I feel like, especially the internet and getting people's eyeballs on things, it's always the most extreme gets it. That's just kind of the way humans work in general. But the world is nuanced. There's good things, like even Elon has done tremendously positive things in the world, in my opinion. And he's not completely evil. Like, I don't know the guy personally, but, Elon, Peter Thiel's harder to argue for, but even he revolutionized technology. Maybe somebody else would have done it. He took existing technology. I could make a whole, there's like 20 videos I could make about Peter Thiel. Very interesting person, but nobody's inherently all evil or all good. People are just people. You shouldn't follow them as gurus, nor should you hate them as if they were the devil. People are accumulation of the choices that they make in their life. It reminds me of Fate. You ever play that game? If you ever played that game, Fable, you get a little more evil. I mean, I think most people, except for psychopath, narcissist type people, most, and even them, like they've learned what is okay to do and not okay to do. And you're inherently born or raised to know what is good, what is bad. Pet the puppy, kick the puppy, right? Everybody inherently knows what is good and bad. And the difference is between when I make a negative choice versus a positive choice is, yes, it has ripple effects. It affects the world. But when a billionaire makes one of those choices, it can affect millions of people. One act of greed could mean lives change drastically, or even worse. One act of kindness could mean a bunch of people get fed or whatever. I don't know. I want to see. See, that's like I could probably edit this into a weird video. I wish people were talking to me, because then if there was chatters and stuff, then I would have more feedback on how good this stream is going, and also it'd be a conversation. I guess that's kind of the point of live streaming, is conversation. I also I could start streaming to other platforms and stuff like that. I love YouTube. YouTube is by far my favorite platform. It's also the platform I'm mostly addicted to. It's hard to stop. Like, I work all day and then I come home and work. Sometimes I get paid to edit videos. But yeah, I don't know what to talk. Let's see. I made a bunch of notes of things I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Yeah, gurus. No gurus. Gurus bad. You follow people for what they do and learn from people, right? Learn from people. There's lots of editors that are better than me. Some of them have YouTube channels, and I've learned a lot of things from them, and I continue to learn every day. You can learn from a 5-year-old. You can learn from an 80-year-old, and everybody in between. But you should not follow anyone or think that they are inherently more important than you, or that they are more godly than you. It's ridiculous. We're all human. We're all flawed. There is no perfect anything. And it's amazing. Like, the world is amazing that it functions the way that it does. Yep. I can see why people play video games on this, because, like, I used to be addicted to video. I have an extremely addictive personality, and I realized sometime a couple of years ago that, I used to have, like, substance use problems or whatever. And once I got clean from that, 10 years ago-ish, I got into computers and started building computers, and I always worked or whatever, but then I'd come home and I got super addicted to MMOs, first World of Warcraft, and then I went to Final Fantasy 14, and then I just got so fed up with microtransactions and stuff like that. And during that time I started being like everyone else and started like making little compilations of my game. And back in the day, I used to skateboard a lot. I lived in Tahoe for a while and snowboarded, and I was really into that scene. And for a little while there, I had like an old school like camcorder that was like old back then, like actual VHS in this giant machine. And we made skate videos. And so I slowly got into video editing, and I learned Shotcut first, and open source free software, and then learned about DaVinci Resolve, and went on with DaVinci Resolve, and it just got better and better. I started with, I think it was version 16. It was like the beginning. It was just going from like 15 to 16 when I started, and it's evolved from now. Now we're on like 20.02 or something like that, and it's right up there with Premiere. And I've tried other softwares or whatever, but DaVinci's what it is. I bought the studio version, and I've realized that I'm going to be like, I have an addictive personality. It's hard for me to concentrate on things sometimes, but I have an addictive personality. I have an obsessive personality. And I learned, once I got away from partying and stuff, I started, obsessed with computers. That's fine. But video games had to go, because I just play that instead of whatever. And I wanted to do something productive. I never thought I would do anything with it, but I just thought it would be more productive, keep my mind going, and at least I'd be learning a skill if I started learning how to film and edit and do that kind of stuff. And hey, it worked out. It's still working out. I want to make, like most people that do this kind of stuff, I would love to make money doing it. I've done some freelancing and made a little bit of money, but I still have a normal job or whatever. And that's kind of what led me to my old channel, Sean Martin Flicks. And I did a lot of videos like the ones I do on this channel. And I think I got pretty good at it. And now I'm trying to get good at it like the YouTube way of making better thumbnails and titles. And, like, a video is only as good as the audience says it is. I love being an artist and creating art for myself. And that's great. But videos are meant to be seen, videos are meant to be enjoyed, or value given, right, in one way or another. And I want, like, my main thing with this is watching the most powerful people in the world, rich people, billionaires, multimillionaires, and sharing their history. I don't want to, like, there's so many channels that talk about their history and how evil certain ones are, or they make them out to look like they're evil. But again, what I want to bring to the table is nuance and the point that nobody should follow anybody else. And that these choices, our society is affected by the most powerful of us. And right now, the most powerful of us are billionaires and tech billionaires. They run all these platforms, including YouTube and whatever. And we should understand them. And we should also understand how, I want to learn how to get rich. So, maybe somehow, like, this channel will make me rich or something. I don't know. Maybe not this channel, but maybe we talk about how people get rich. I started a video about Warren Buffett, who I think is a pretty good guy. And I see, like, on this channel, it's hard, especially with a lot of stuff that is going on, especially in the online world, and different stuff taking effect. It's hard not to be negative all the time, but there's a lot of positive stuff in the world. It's just the news likes to talk about the negative, and there's so many channels covering it. Like, I started that video, like, I've literally made like 2.5 videos about Peter Thiel, and I've made some videos that are on this channel about PayPal. And my whole goal was just to make a video about everybody in PayPal, or at least the ones that are the most well known, and then at the end kind of combine them all and add more to it into like a super video, and kind of like recycle content that way. So I'm getting like a double whammy every time I do it. But I got into the Peter Thiel thing, and I made a video and I didn't like it. And then I made another one and it got so convoluted. I ended up with like 25 hours or something spread out over a timeline that my, like, averagely powerful PC, like, I don't know, it's getting old, but it has like my friend actually traded me up, and long story, I ended up with a 3080 for really cheap, and it does not like the timeline, and that was just to like cut out all these scenes and transcode all the audio and do all that. But so I'm redeveloping it instead of making one video. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Is so many people have told the story of Peter Thiel. Like, I made a video that was all about the history going into his childhood, and I might come out with something like that at some point. I mean, I already filmed most of it. I've already edited part of it, and but it's similar to other videos, and I guess that's fine. It's the YouTube game. I shouldn't care. If I'm going to play the YouTube game, I should go and play the YouTube game and come out with that video. I mean, it's my version. It's different, of course, because I'm the one doing it. There's probably nuances and there's probably different information at certain points or whatever, but more or less it's the same. And maybe I could go on it. Maybe I could watch that on stream or something. I don't know. Maybe that's an outlet for stream. We could go through my notes about it and kind of like get his history. It is interesting. I think everybody should go read the Wikipedia page. They should all go watch some video. There's some incredible videos that go through his life timeline. But I think there's some other better ways or more original ways to go about it. And I've thought of 3 different ways that I think would make interesting videos. And I'm working on one of them right now, so at least one of them hopefully comes out. But I'm also working on other videos, and he's just like a frustrating guy because he's really like, I've never been diagnosed with ADHD or anything, and people are always saying they have things like that. I'm not a doctor, but he has so many things going that I'll be thinking it, like, I'll be concentrating on him, but it'll spiderweb off into another place. And there's a lot of stuff that he says that in theory, maybe I agree with, but when everything comes down to it, I don't know, dude. I'm just saying he might think he's the Antichrist, but anyway, like, that's a hint towards the video I'm making. So there's other people that have already made similar videos, but I am going at it at a little bit different direction. So pat myself on the back there. I don't know, dude. So I guess this is probably good for my first stream. Streaming is raw. There's no editing it. I'll probably edit, what do they call it? The VOD. And maybe come out with some shorts. And I just wanted to kind of see how all this worked. If you watch this later, please comment so that I am notified that somebody actually watched. And let me know if you want to see me do more. And I got to figure out how to like not have this thing try to stream in 4K, because 4K is overrated, especially for live streaming. And yeah, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you in the next life, is what I say at the end of every video that I remember to say it on.